Good morning and welcome to the third episode of Meta Talk with. Today with me, I have the pleasure to have Armando Sacco. Armando is an agent of eXp Italy, probably is the first agent of eXp Italy, Armando, right? Hi, it's my pleasure to have you here. You are a pioneer in eXp Italy, but Armando, your story, the story of your family is amazing. Your journey is incredible. Your grandfather was immigrant from Italy to Canada. Would you like to tell us something about your family journey and why you decide to come back to your country?
Okay, thank you, Ilaria. Thank you for having me over to your podcast. Just to be precise, my grandfather, he immigrated in Okay, thank you, Ilaria. Thank you for having me over to your podcast. Just to be precise, my grandfather, he immigrated in United States, in New York in 1990. Oh. He was one of those thousands of immigrants that had left their own country between the First and the Second World War. Obviously, he was in seek of a better place, a place where to raise his family and to have like a future. Coming from Calabria, between the two wars, I would imagine that it was not an easy place to grow up. 8 kids. He was quite, wow. Yeah. Our family was quite large, but it was a gift to me because then I was born there, and I had the opportunity to be exposed to both cultures, the Italian culture and the North American culture. And, right. Fast forward, we returned in Italy in 1975, and I'm living in Rome right now. And after spending some time in Calabria, we moved to Rome. And then in 2013, I decided to live the North American dream, like that I was growing always with this idea in the back of my mind. So I moved to Toronto in Canada, not United States this time. And I had an amazing 7 years there doing this job that is what I love the most. So, that had gave me an extensive experience, had gave me the opportunity to interact with different cultures. Canada is amazing when it comes to, having to deal with, I would say, all the cultures around the world. You can find them in one place. It is amazing. It is really, really something that if you don't experience in person, it's hard to explain.
I imagine. And Armando, Canada, North American real estate market is a completely different market, right? We are regulated MLS, and you've been involved also in MLS institutionally, if I'm not wrong. Can you tell us something about the advantages, elements compared to the European market?
Yes, okay. So I was a realtor for 7 years in Toronto, and at some point I was involved with the Toronto Real Estate Board. I was sitting at the commercial committee, which is where I say the future of the profession of this job gets designed. The advantages. Well, thank you for asking. The first thing that comes to my mind is the reputation that North American realtors have when you talk about being a real estate agent with the public. They are well respected. They are, people look at realtors for assistance, for advice. And this is maybe just because the North American realtors have their clients' best interest at their heart. They usually represent one side of the transaction and not both. And so each realtor can represent their client seeking for the best interest, where in Italy, just the way the Italian law regulates this job, we are like mediators, like we are like a referee to a match, and we have to be equally distant by the parties and not influence the outcome of the negotiation. But what after spending 7 years in Canada, what I realized is that we do have embedded in our job in Italy a conflict of interest. Now, we know that the buyer wants to spend the least amount of money, and the seller wants to cash the highest amount of money. So this is already conflicting. And so, in my opinion, having two professionals that are taking care of each side's interest is the best solution. And that is the biggest, I would say, advantage that the North American consumer has when it's compared to the Italian one. Then, you know, we had requirements for continued education. I had to keep up every 2-year cycles with learning and attending to some courses just to be up to date with the law, with the change of the market, with the new tools. And shall we talk about cooperation? Realtors in North America, they cooperate. I was in Toronto myself, and the Toronto Real Estate Board at that time had like 55,000 agents, and they were all on the same MLS board, meaning that every morning I would open up my connection to the MLS board, show properties of other realtors to my clients, knowing that on the other side, there was an agent that was ready to cooperate with me in the sale. So that is something that we are far away from in Italy, but we do have like our first, you know, the market has changed since I went away and came back, and even the Italian realtors are changing. So I'm optimistic as usual, and so I just hope that I can give a push and a help with my experience to changing the Italian industry, the Italian real estate industry. That would be, let's say, my long-term goal. And the list can continue. You know, we can talk about the brokerage structure. We can talk about licensing requirements. We can talk about how the law gets enforced and agents get punished and sanctioned when they do the wrong thing. So we can talk about liability, compliance. There's a whole world to talk about, but you know, these are advantages.
Amazing. We can do another episode of our podcast, Armando.
anytime, Ilaria.
And another question: how did such amazing experience affect you positively when you returned to Italy? Because you talk that you found we have another culture here, another experience, but your amazing experience must be affect you, of course, in some way. Can you talk about?
Yes. I was trying to remember. There is a book, and I don't recall who was the author, that says a man who travels or goes on a trip, the man that comes back is never the same as the one that left. And I can see that when I talk to Italian agents, they look at me like if I'm coming from Mars. You know, I talk about having an ethic approach with the customer, about respecting each other as agents, about cooperating, and you know, not putting my interest first. And they look at me like, you know, I'm speaking another language, although, you know, I know Italian very well. It's just that the culture is different. So I would strongly recommend any Italian agents to go for a 6-month trip and, you know, just go into a brokerage and see how it works and see all the different figures that evolve around an agent, the responsibility, the compliance, and, you know, I would say the professionalism that is embedded with this job. I have to say that the average person in Toronto is very well educated when we're talking about real estate. Like you would just be surprised about the level of knowledge they have, and still they seek for professional advice. They want to know your opinion. They are very well versed to pay an agent to do the job right, you know, and that is something amazing. And that has to do with what the category has done in the last 100 years. So it is a difference of culture. It's a difference of, there is a difference of, you know, how this job is designed at the very, you know, core of it. And there's a completely different law structure. That's what, you know, I believe we have to start pushing toward and getting better in Italy, just to let even, you know, who designs the law understand that there is a conflict of interest, and that for the consumer's sake, we just must look at it and maybe change it. You know, the laws in Canada for real estate, they have changed in, you know, they change around every 15, 20 years. We're still using the laws from the 80s in Italy, you know, and I believe that when I started doing this job in 1991 and today, a lot of things have changed. So maybe it's time to, you know, to redesign our job in Italy.
Yes, you study as an engineer, if I'm not wrong. But can you tell us something about your beginning in the real estate?
In Italy, you mean? Yes.
Yes, in Italy.
My beginning in Italy, yes. Okay. Yeah, it was 1991, when actually 16th of September 1991, when it was the first day I walked into a real estate office.
Oh, wow.
To work there. So a long time ago. And I partnered up with an old gentleman, an agent, and I spent 2 years with him. I always laugh about it because I say I learned everything I didn't have to do.
Oh,
because nice. You know, there was a lack in customer service. You know, the people were getting angry, and because, you know, the professionalism was very low, and so I didn't feel like that I was in the right place. And so after 2 years, I rented this place where I am now, and I opened up my own office, and from there it was like a beautiful journey. You know, I love this job, and I would recommend any young person to just, you know, start it with, and just as long as they do it with passion. It is a job that gives you a lot in customer satisfaction, and you know, you are involved in every time there is a change in the life of a family or of a person. They get married, they're looking for a house. They are opening up a business, they're looking for you know, an office or a retail place. They get divorced, obviously they downsize. The kids grow and they leave the house and they need a smaller home. So you're always involved as an agent whenever there is like a big change in a person's journey, in a person's life. And that is something I always think about when I receive a phone call. You know, when somebody says, I saw your advertising, or I want to see a home, I understand that that person is going through a change in its life. And so I am very, how can I say, Italian and English are fighting in my mind. So, you know, I step in on my tippy toes, you know, with all the respect it deserves. And I do my best just to help them out and avoid any, you know, mistake or any loophole. That's it.
I love it.
Well, you know, this is a job that can get you like 24/7. I always say, you know, I don't sell homes. I help people finding the right place, or businesses finding the right space.
You realize dream, you know? An estate agent realize dream. You realize dream, you know?
Yeah, we do. We do. We help them. You help them bring them to reality. But, and I always say, I'm not the driver, I'm not the person that is in charge of driving this car, but I'm right beside the driver, telling him how, or her, how to approach the next corner, how to speed up or slow down. This is what I feel is my role in any real estate transaction.
I agree. Amazing. And Armando, what made you join eXp? Because you is 1 year probably that you
7 months.
you are in this company, and so what made you join eXp? And can you tell us something about your first year in eXp?
Okay. Yes, I'm not the first agent that joined eXp Italy, but I am an early adopter. So I believe eXp came to Italy in March or April, and I joined at the end of May.
Okay.
So there are many reasons, and the more I live, this community, the more reasons come out, and it is amazing. Some of them are, that I can work anytime, anywhere. Being a cloud-based brokerage, you just, can be efficient, and you don't really need to have a physical office to perform. And that is something amazing. And then obviously we do use a lot the metaverse. You can use the metaverse for investment, or you can use the metaverse to just work in the metaverse. And I love that. Like our 24/7 office, office is always open, and anywhere in the world it's daytime. We have in the eXp world an extensive training with the eXp University. I love to attend English spoken classes, but also we have Italian classes as well. So if you are in love with growing, even professionally, eXp has what you need to just improve your skills. Then what else? I can become an eXp owner. Like, this is my company. I own some shares of eXp holdings, and all I have to do is just do my job. I have to sell properties. And in the same time, the company is awarding me some shares. I have joined a program to buy shares at a discounted price. So this in the long term, whenever I will decide to retire, is going to have the result that I will have like some funds there waiting for me, just like if I'm building my goodwill or a termination allowance. Yeah. And whenever I want to retire, I can sell them and have, some money. This is something that other companies don't have. What else? International network. Do we want to talk about it? 20 countries, 79,000 agents. It is amazing. I have listed 6 properties in Mexico just because I partnered up with an eXp agent in Tulum. This is something, I wouldn't even think about only years ago. I have Canadian clients that are calling me because they are looking for a property in France, and I can help them. Like, this is something that is just mind-blowing. You can help your clients wherever they are in the world with their real estate needs. And it is amazing. Like, if you don't live it, you can't fully understand how powerful the eXp community is. We deal commercial, we deal residential, we deal hospitality, businesses, like anything. You can have the opportunity to help your clients in any decision they are making about real estate. Education, we spoke about, this endless training that eXp gives you. The staff, I just have good words to talk about with the eXp Italy staff and yourself too included, because the support we feel that we get and that we actually get is something I haven't found not even when I was in Canada. Yes, in Canada, the structure of the brokerage had an office manager, some admin staff, and a transaction coordinator. But, in eXp, I found the same structure, but with an Italian approach. Like people like the staff really cares about the agent's success. And so I don't know how I could, at this point, go ahead without this kind of support. The tools are endless. Like there's always a new selection of tools to help us agent, and it might be like I don't know, like talking about photographs, a 360, or the Matterport virtual tour, or how to research data, because in Italy, what I feel the biggest missing is that not having an MLS, we don't have data. So when I was in Canada, I went to work in a city that I didn't know, because I just know Toronto on the map, with the laws that were new for me, with a language, a technical language. Yeah, I mean, it's okay to speak English for a vacation or to, just a day-to-day interaction. But if you have to assist your clients, and I had worked with institutional clients that and interact with their lawyers, with their accountant, and you need to speak the English, that professional English at a certain level. And and I was able to do all that because we had data. Yeah. I would open up a computer, go to the MLS and see what sold, when, how, for how much, what was the trend of the market. And this now, thanks to eXp and the eXp service providers, I have the same tools, almost the same tools that I had there. So now I can pull up the recent sales in a neighborhood. I can see the trend. I can see what other agents are asking for some properties, and come up with a strategy and with a plan to sell a property at the best. So this is what helps me in everyday job. I just feel that the tools, the support, the education, it's all there. Like, how much time do we have, Ilaria?
You are an amazing ambassador, Armando, of this company, of course.
Well, I get passionate about things that I like.
Like me. Yeah.
I can't fake it.
What do you feel is the most important quality for someone to have to become a successful real estate agent? Can you share with us some tips to become a productive real estate agent?
I would say be curious, be genuinely curious about this job, about how can you do it better. Don't accept the status quo. Actually, you have to challenge the status quo. Like the thing that gets me the most is when people say, oh, we have always done it this way. Well, you know what? The world is changing. I believe this job has changed in the last 10 years. Like 10 or 20 years ago, we were used to do this job differently. So I can't believe that there are agents out there that just don't do any kind of continuous education. So they don't get updated with the tools, with the behavior of the consumer. I would say be genuinely, you have to come from the perspective of wanting to be of help. So train yourself to be of help. Stop selling and start helping. That is my claim. If you go on my website, that's the first thing you'll find. So until you don't embrace this wonderful job from the perspective of help, you will not see the genuine and organic growth. Your clients will tell you if, they are able to see if you are working just for another check, another commission check, or if you're working out of passion. They will know. So with practical tip, I would say work on your time management, work on your communication skills, Be obsessed with your online reputation. Today, people don't go like it used to be to the priest or to the newspaper stand and ask who is a good agent. They go online. They go online. They put Google, they put your name there, and they see what comes out. And if what comes out doesn't show that you are in real estate, doesn't show that you have a good reputation, doesn't show that you are exactly what you're showing, people will know. And so my advice would be, just be yourself, work on your inner you, be the best version of yourself in order to help others with their projects, with their dreams, or as you said before.
Oh, I love it.
And one thing I want to say to Italian agents.
Please.
Just show up. Let people find out who you are. I go through websites every day of other agents, other brokerages, and I cannot find who is the person behind the brand. People want to know who are the person, like the individual behind the brand. We are real estate agents. We're not secret agents. We're not 007, like don't show, it is hard to find, there are many brokerages that have their website and you look for who is in charge for the real estate and you don't find the name. You don't find a phone number. I don't know how they, I don't know, like this just gets me, because we were obsessed. In Canada, we were obsessed about letting the consumer know who they're dealing with. So we had to put our name on every advertising, who are my first name, last name, and the company I was working with. We owe the consumer transparency. We don't have to hide. The consumer have to know exactly who they're dealing with and, who is responsible, because mistakes can happen. We're human, but who is responsible for the mistakes? Instead, it's like, I don't know, 007.
Armando, what are your plans for the next 5 years?
5 years. Well, 5 years ago, I was in Toronto and I would never thought I was coming back to Italy. So as people say, life is what happens to you while you're busy planning.
Yes.
But okay, yes, I do have a plan for my next 5 years in eXp. And it is an ambitious plan. Let's say I would want to have a team of eXp agents, around 100 agents internationally. Wow. So that is my goal. Let's meet again in 2027 and let's see where I am.
Wow, amazing, amazing. We support you to reach your goal.
I know, and I feel the support. I feel the support, and every road show is an amazing opportunity to meet us agent and to meet other agents and to meet people that are passionate about what they're doing. I would say that is the most that I get from eXp, is being able to be in connection with agents internationally that have some skills that I can learn from and that have passion about what they do. They do what they love and they love what they do. And this is something that, doesn't even feel that you're working on when you go to work.
I agree. Armando, we are at the end of this amazing interview. And so my last question for you is, what does the word success mean to you?
Success is being happy at your own terms. Like, I don't have to show anything to anybody to feel successful. I just have to be happy, genuinely happy where I am and about what I'm doing and with the people I'm surrounding myself with. So from that point of view, it's a total success.
Amazing. I love it. I agree. Armando, thank you for this amazing interview.
Thank you, Ilaria.
You
Thank you very much.
touched me, and thank you for taking the time to share it with us. I appreciate it a lot, and I will invite you again for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy your day. Bye, everybody.